Students, in the previous lecture, we have studied the topic gauges from the topic limits, fits, and tolerances. We have studied what are gauges, what are the application of gauges, the types of gauges, limit gauges, as well as maximum material condition and minimum material condition for a shaft and a hole. In today's lecture, we will be studying the different types of gauges as well as the principle that is used to design a gauge. So let's begin with the topic principle of gauge design. Now the principle that is used to design any type of gauge is called as the Taylor's principle. Now according to Taylor's principle, it states that the GO gauge should check all possible elements of dimensions at a time, and the no-go gauge should check only one element of the dimension at a time. Now what does this statement means? According to this statement, the go gauge should check all the possible elements of dimension at a time. Now consider that we have a square hole inside a shaft. Now the square hole or the rectangular hole will have two dimensions, basically the length and the height. So while designing the go gauge, we should keep in mind that the go gauge should be designed in such a way that it will check the accuracy of both the length as well as height in a single pass. That is, when the go gauge is inserted inside the hole, it should check the accuracy of both length as well as height in a single pass through the hole. Whereas the no go gauge should be designed in such a way that it should check either the length at a time or the height at a time. That it should check whether the length is accurate or not, or whether the height is accurate or not. So for measuring the dimensions or to check whether the manufacturer's rectangular hole or the square hole is proper or not, the go gauge should check both the length as well as height in a single pass, whereas the no go gauge should check the length at a time and then the height at a time. Go and no go gauges should be designed to check the maximum and minimum material limits of the components respectively. This was also explained in the previous lecture that go gauges are always used to check the maximum material condition for the hole as well as the shaft, whereas no go gauges are used to check the sizes corresponding to minimum material condition for the hole as well as the shaft. Now let us understand this principle with the help of example. So here we have a shaft inside which we have a rectangular hole. The dimensions of the hole are: the length is 35 with upper deviation plus 0.5 and lower deviation minus 0.5. The height is 25 mm with upper deviation plus 0.5 and lower deviation minus 0.5. Now according to Taylor's principle, while designing the GO gauge, we will design it in such a way that a single gauge will check both the dimensions, that is the length as well as the height, in a single pass. But for no go, we have to design two gauges, because no go gauge will check only one element of the dimension at a time. That is, it will check either the length in a single pass and the height in another pass. So for no go gauge, we have to design two gauges, whereas for go gauge, the only one gauge has to be designed, since it will check both the dimensions, that is the length and the height, in a single pass. Also, according to Taylor's principle, the go gauge is always designed for maximum material conditions. Now you can see that this hole will have maximum material inside it when the dimensions are minimum. That is, the length is also minimum as well as the height is also minimum. So the minimum length will occur when the dimension is 35 minus 0.5, so 34.5, whereas the minimum height will occur when the dimension is 25 minus 0.5, that is 24.5. So while designing the go gauge, we will design only a single go gauge with dimensions 34.5 and 24.5, so that when this go gauge is inserted inside the hole, it will check whether the manufactured hole is accurate or not. Now for the no-go gauge, we have to design two gauges. Also, the no-go gauge always checks, or it checks the dimension corresponding to minimum material condition. Now that this hole will have minimum material inside it when the dimensions are maximum. So we can say that when the length is maximum as well as when the height is maximum, the dimension of this hole will be maximum, or the material contained inside the hole will be minimum, that is minimum material conditions. So for minimum material condition, the maximum size will be First, the length will be 35 plus 0.5, that is 35.5, and the second will be 25 plus 0.5, that is 25.5. So we will manufacture two no-go gauges, no-go 1 gauge and no-go 2 gauge, with dimensions 35.5 and 25.5. Now we will insert both the gauges inside this hole one by one. When I will insert the first gauge, it should not pass through this hole, because it is itself what no go, right? It should not pass through the hole. If this gauge is inserted and it does not passes through the hole, it means that the length of the hole is accurate. Now we will check whether the height of the hole is accurate or not. Now we will insert the second no go gauge, that is no go 2 gauge, and if this gauge also does not passes through the hole, then we can say that the size of the hole manufactured is accurate. So according to this principle, the go gauge will check both the dimension, that is length, and the height at a single pass, whereas for the no go gauge will check each individual dimension at a single time. Now let us see different types of gauges. Types of limit gauges. Plug gauge. A plug gauge is a cylindrical type of gauge. You can see that it is in the form of a cylinder. All these are nothing but plug gauges, and all are in the form of cylinders. A plug gauge is a cylindrical type of gauge used to check the accuracy of the holes. So basically plug gauge are used to check whether the manufactured hole is within the stated limits or not, or within the specified limits or not. The plug gauge checks whether the hole diameter is within specified tolerance or not. It will not check the exact dimension, it will just check whether the dimension of the hole manufactured is within the limits or not, since it is a type of a limit gauge. The go plug gauge is the size of the low limit of the hole, whereas the no go plug gauge corresponds to high limit of the hole. This is according with the conditions that the go gauge is always used to check maximum material conditions. So for maximum material condition for a hole occurs when the size of the hole is smallest, whereas the no go plug gauge corresponds to high limit of the hole. No go is always used to check minimum material condition. So minimum material condition for a hole will occur when the size of the hole is maximum. So no go corresponds to high limit of the hole. Now you can see in the figure the first single end limit plug gauge. Now in this the gauges are designed separately. That is, the go part is designed on one shaft and the no go part is designed on the another shaft. That is, first we will insert the go part or the go gauge inside the hole, and after checking it, then we will insert the no go gauge. So in single ended limit plug gauge, both the go and no go gauges are not manufactured in a single part. They are in a different parts. Second is double-ended limit plug gauge. Now you can see that the both in this type of plug gauge, both the go end as well as the no go end are installed, or we can say are fabricated on a single shaft. First we will insert the go gauge inside the hole, and after checking the accuracy we will insert the no go gauge. So in double-ended limit plug gauge, both the go gauges and the no go gauge will be attached with on a single shaft. The third is the progressive limit plug gauge. In this type, the go as well as no go gauges are lying on one side of the handle. You can see in this gauge the go was lying on one side, whether the no go gauge was lying on the other side. But in case of progressive limit gauge, both the go and the no go part will be lying on the same side or one side of the handle. Now when this gauge is inserted inside the hole, this should pass, or the go part should pass through the hole, and the no go should not pass through the hole. And if this condition is satisfied, we can say that the manufactured hole is within the stated limits. So these are the types of the plug gauges. Now we'll proceed further. Snap gauge. A snap gauge is a U-shaped frame having jaws used to check the accuracy of shaft and male members. So snap gauges are used to check only the dimension of shaft. They are not used to check the dimension of the hole. For hole we will use plug gauges. For shaft we use snap gauges. Now you can see that this gauge is in the form of a U, or we can say it is in the form of a C. So this is a clamp in the form of a U. So a snap gauge is a U-shaped frame having jaws. These are the jaw, upper jaw and the lower jaws. The snap gauge checks whether the shaft diameter is within specified tolerance or not. The go snap gauge is the size of the high limit of the shaft. As said earlier, the go gauge is always used to check the maximum material condition, and for a shaft the maximum material condition will occur when the size is what, maximum, and the whereas the minimum material condition for the shaft will occur when the size is minimum. So the go gauge will check the minimum size of the shaft. Now let us understand the working. So this is a first example, double ended snap gauge. It has two parts. On one end it will have a go, and on the other end it will have a no go gauge. Now when the shaft is inserted inside the go part, if it passes through the go, it means the dimensions are okay. Now after checking the accuracy in go gauge, now we will insert the same shaft inside the no go gauge, and as per the name, the shaft should not pass through it. So if the shaft does not passes through this no go gauge, then we can say that the manufactured shaft is accurate, or it is lying within the stated limits. So in double ended, both go and no go are manufactured as a single unit.